Hello, everybody. It's time to do some live streaming. I've invited some people by email, so who knows if anyone will show up. But we will see. All right, so I'm going to work on Phobos again today. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. I had to figure out this page before going live because I hate going live and then getting being like a deer stuck in headlights, trying to figure out how this is going to all look. So sorry, I gotta look at reference real quick. That works. Hopefully that works. Maybe I'll do this a little shorter. Yeah. Yes. Hey Jay, hey Ryan, Nicholas, Leslie. What's going on, guys? Important part of making comics, having a print copy. Yep, that's right. I don't print it for anyone else. I just print it for reference later on. Guess that works. Okay, I think I can start coloring. I think. Oops. Oh, I need some of this. Old hairs. Should probably. Oh well. I was gonna rotate my brush so it's not quite as thick, but whatever. I like the thick hairs on his face. Sorry guys, I'm probably mumbling. How you doing? How's everyone doing? Let's see. If you guys got any questions, feel free to ask them. I'll pop your question on screen. Oh, here we go. How you stop using Clip Studio? Long story. I like Clip Studio better. I'll leave your question up. I do like Clip Studio better, but I just I developed the technique for Phobos on Photoshop years and years ago, and I just kind of like don't want to have to try to figure out how to recreate anything or import my brushes or anything. And so I'm like, well, I'll just keep using Photoshop until I absolutely decide that I don't want to ever touch Photoshop again. You know, so I know eventually there'll be one of these days I'll just switch over and be like, forget Photoshop, and I'll just go for it. But until then, I'm still content enough with it for Phobos. If I were to start a new comic, I would totally not use Photoshop, and I'd use Clip Studio. But it's just because of this one, the nature of this one right now. Here. It's not because I like Photoshop better, though. Yeah, and I know I could just switch everything over pretty quickly, but I'm one of those weird people that kind of like doesn't like to waste time switching over when I kind of am familiar with something. I have some weird hairs on his arms. Well, that's kind of a shoulder, I think. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's just part of his body. Oh, it looks like I started drawing stitches here and didn't finish. Okay, let's get this question off screen. Hey, Nick, It is like 2017. I can't believe it's been that long since I've done it regularly. Kevin asks, what's your hardware there? Wacom tablet? Yeah, it's a Cintiq, one of the, not the biggest one, but it's a pretty big one. It's the one that is so heavy that I had to get another Ergotron arm to like hold it up because it was just so heavy. So I can't say I'm in love with Cintiq though. I used to really love them, but yeah, I don't know. There's little workarounds that I have to do, like this. Like this. Can you see? Where is it? Come on, get it up. Where is it? There. This here thing. The little remote. It caused so many problems when I started it, and it would always slide down. So I actually stuck a piece of Velcro to this and a piece of Velcro to the bottom side of it to keep it on, because it would just slide off every time I would look away from it. It would slide. So anyway, yeah, there's all kinds of dumb little things, but you know, I've gotten used to it. I like it. I really like it. I just don't think it's worth the money. I think I would, if I was starting out, I would like kind of the 13-inch Cintiq. I think there's a 13-inch. That's kind of, or the 16-inch Pro. That's a nice size, I think. This one's just a little too big. I don't even use all the screen space. I'm looking like right here, and everything else is like, I don't look at it. So anyway, but I shouldn't complain. I'm grateful I have it. Kevin asks, have you ever considered iPad Procreate combo? I've considered, I mean, I do have an iPad with Procreate on it, and I like it. It's just, I haven't found a good workflow for comics that's comfortable for me yet. So again, it's like one of those things, like I don't like to learn a whole new thing if I'm kind of in a groove. If I'm in a pattern and I'm getting things done, it's just too much time to like relearn and readjust to the habits of how to work. So it's way too much, but I love the 32-inch. That's cool. Well, you know, sometimes it's nice to have a big workspace. I like my other monitor to be big, and then the one I'm working on to be smaller. But that's me. Okay, I need to start coloring. Flats. Let's see. I need to keep my eyes on my streaming software just in case someone pops in. I want to make sure they don't sit there and hang out forever without me noticing them. See, this is the problem with Photoshop too. Clip Studio has that, like, you can just like flat stuff practically automatically. Oh well. See, one day it's going to happen. I'm going to switch over fully. Oops. Look at that ratty hair. Need some people to jump in here with me. It's going to be a boring stream. No one shows up. Anyone working on something and you want to jump in and be part of the conversation? Anyone? See a question. Richard asks, have you done character studies before you started the comic of this comic? Not so much of this one. I've kind of created Phobos so long ago. I mean, I was in junior high when I first started drawing this Frankenstein character like this, and so I have so many like old drawings of it that it's just kind of like, that's what it is. It's just all kind of I'm trying to keep it fun and out of my head and not really try to get too stuck on anything, like making it right. Like for instance, Frank's head, it just kind of changes size and shape every time I draw him. And sometimes his head is huge and sometimes it's small. It's like what fits the scene best. So yeah, that's how this comic is. It's just a fun exploration for me. I don't want to get too bogged down with like model sheets and character studies with it too much. But with most of my other comics, yes, like there's a new one I want to start on, and I'm going to have to really like sit down and figure out the character studies and kind of really like figure out the style and gather some references and all that stuff, because it's going to be kind of a different approach probably for me. And I'm trying to debate how to move forward with it. If I want to try to see if I can get a publishing deal with it and all that stuff. So in that case, I will definitely have to do more research up front before I start it. But this one, no way. This is just fun. Richard. Hey, Richard. Thanks for keeping on asking questions. Wife and kids are good. Wife and family, everybody's doing good. A little bit more stressed out than normal, having to homeschool and stuff like that, which we're not used to. More stress on Jelly than anyone. She has to juggle it all as well as juggle her job, because she works at the school, so it's just kind of like thrust on her to try to homeschool, help with schooling other kids online, and then also homeschool our kids at the same time. And it's a whole new thing, so that's been a lot of getting used to. But yeah, we're all doing good though. Hey there, El. Question: can we get a few more clues as the new future project? No, not yet. I'm sorry. I know I keep talking about it every now and then, but I don't have anything set in stone yet. I just know I want to do it next. I do want to launch the Phobos Kickstarter later this year, and then just to see how that goes. it's kind of a test to just see how much people like Phobos, or if the concept when I pitch it like resonates with a bigger group of people than I think it will, because it's so like just personal and at like my like baby project that I almost want to just keep it that way and just have fun with it. And then if it makes money, then fine, then cool, but not try to make it be the thing that makes money, so that I don't have to put any pressure on it to be something that it doesn't need to be. But I still want to get it out there. So I want to get Phobos out there, and then I want to continue Phobos, but I want to continue it on the side of something else. So I want to get the next project going as kind of the serious project, and then kind of be able to keep coming back to Phobos every now and then. And I know that doesn't answer your question. Sorry. But with the future project, I'm thinking of trying to get an agent. I guess I just said this, didn't I? Thinking of trying to get an agent, kind of pitch it to an agent, see if what they think of it, and then just try to kind of customize it a little bit more towards the publishing industry, just to see if that works for me. I've never done it, so I just kind of want to try it. Everything else I've done has been so much like, no, I'm doing it my way. Leave me alone. You can't tell me what to do. So this will be a kind of a different approach. And it's that decision has come from talking to a lot of different friends who publish in different ways, and I'm like, okay, that's the one thing I haven't tried. I should try it. Try it before I just completely exit off my list forever. Let's see. I should probably pick these flats up a little more than I am. So with all that said, I don't want to really pitch it to anyone until I kind of figure out if it's something that an agent will like and possibly a publisher would like, and then it would mean like working on it a lot, and then we'd finally start pitching it. Right? Is that how it works? So all I got to do is sell it to someone who's going to publish it, and then I just work on it. But I'd still like to do the kind of behind the scenes live streaming and stuff like that. So I guess it would kind of come out naturally what it's about, because I'd be working on it all the time, if that happens. I'm so not answering questions. I'm sorry. Hey, Dylan, question. Started writing a webcomic and have tinkered with the idea of webtoons. What's your experience with them? Would you recommend it? Very good question. Well, I have friends that are still on webtoons. They still like it a lot. And it seems like the pay has gone up a little bit. There's a lot of new incentives that they have now. If you're a featured artist, they're kind of profit sharing now with the featured artists, I guess. So there's potential for a lot more revenue than before, even. So there's a lot of good things. There's a lot of promising things with webtoons. But, as far as money goes, if they like your thing, the thing is you gotta make the thing that they like for it to work on that platform. That platform's like a bunch of preteen girls on their phones. That's their audience. Sorry. Not, that's what it seems like to me. It's just a lot of kids, mainly girls, on their phones reading comics, which is great because I didn't know that was a big audience for comics. But that's why it kind of favors teen drama and romance and, slice of life, angsty teenage preteen slice of life type stuff. And so it didn't really fit with my stuff, you know. But it just depends on if your comic kind of fits into that. It's kind of like any other publisher. If you want Scholastic to publish your book, you have to make sure your book fits Scholastic's readership. If you want Marvel or DC, you got to make sure your book fits their readership. And it's not like trying to tailor your book to theirs. It's just, I think it's more about finding the right conduit that naturally fits what you're trying to do. You know, if you're not trying to do Marvel and DC stuff, then you shouldn't approach them to try to do your comic that doesn't fit their audience. At least that's what I think, you know. So just really dig through Webtoons and go, is this the platform where my thing will shine? You know, will my thing really work on this platform? And I've kind of considered, I guess there is some point, a part of it where you can customize your comic to fit the platform, as long as you're not customizing it too much away from your vision, you know. So that's the number one thing. Does it fit? Number two is, what are your goals with putting it on Webtoons? Oh, here's Anthony.
What's up, man?
Sorry, I don't know if you were there for long.
I was for 20 minutes. So I'm just kidding.
Oh boy, I'm answering a question about Webtoons. So the second thing would be if you want to favor quantity over quality, because that's what they want. They've actively said that to me over and over again when I was doing my stuff. Our readership wants a lot of content, you know. The minimum for like a featured post update is like 40 panels, I think now. Unless it's a gag a day, I guess. So there's that, and then the other side of it is it's a really kind of grueling schedule. So if you've never had a job in art where you have a crazy deadline, then Webtoons is going to be crazy shock when you start getting those requests to hit those weekly deadlines and do 40 panels a week and write it and draw it and color it and hammer it out, and it's got to be perfect.
Wow. And
stop being emotional about it. It's a job, you know. So those are the things you got to think about with Webtoons. Now, if you're just wanting to put it on Webtoons and just grow readership, yeah, there's some benefits to that. You know, you're tapping into an audience that is big, so that's good. I would always suggest that, as long I like being able to control it. So I would almost rather put my stuff on Webtoons and not have them pay me, so that I can control what I put out on Webtoons, you know, and the speed and the quantity and the quality, all that stuff. So anyway, that's my answer. Let me turn this question off. How you doing, Anthony?
Doing well. Just had some time right now. Have a little bit of time to just draw.
Yeah.
And just trying to do more of the streaming live. I've been doing it every day.
Oh, nice.
But YouTube was messing me up. Like yesterday, it shut down 3 times because I guess it caught little things of music in the background.
Oh, really?
And it just shut me off. And then finally, I had to just be completely silent. So I just made sure I use DLive mostly for streaming, and I don't have any problems ever. Did you ever go on DLive?
Now that you mention it, yeah, I did make an account, and then I think I did it. I think I tried to do it once, and then I never did it again.
Yeah, now it's just Now it seems to be. I'm used to it now. Using that mostly, but I was trying to do YouTube, kind of do it back and forth. But I was having a little problem with YouTube now. But I'll go back and forth as I go along.
Is there an audience on DLive though?
Yeah, I have more. I have a lot more interaction with people there.
Yeah.
But
is it all one certain kind of group of people, like people who've been banned from other platforms?
That, yes. But some of those people that have been banned, they're still like, or I guess like from other platforms like Instagram or Twitter or something like that. They're still on YouTube, so it's only been like a few, or just like one person or something like that was like banned from YouTube is on there. But he had a huge audience and stuff, and so he kind of brought them all over there, and he's just crushing over there.
Interesting.
But overall, yeah, I haven't really kind of experienced yet to see what it's capable of just yet.
Oh, but, Doug's waiting. Sorry, Doug.
Just a minute. Am I echoey? Do I need to put the headphones on?
It doesn't matter.
I just want to make sure.
If you're drawing stuff, I'll throw your art up on screen every now and then too. So.
All right, hold on.
You know, it's one of those old-fashioned work streams.
I like work. Remember those days when you worked?
Good. Yeah. It wasn't about commentary. It was about actually doing stuff. Sorry, we're not. This means we can't go on to DLive, huh?
D-bag.
D-bag.
That's what I call
pretty cool. DLive's been nice to me. I keep getting followers every day.
I have a DLive, and I just pump when I do StreamYard. I just pump a feed out to it, but it's not my core audience. It's not my main thing.
I haven't tried to do any streaming on any other platforms. I should probably get a Twitch account and just blast it to everything too, but I don't know.
Wait, is that what the Twitch? Is that the use of Twitch? Is that what? It's because it can blast everything.
No, it's just that it's a big streaming channel platform, you know. So you can just multi-stream it.
Mostly for gaming.
Yeah, you can just stream at all the places at the same time, and then wherever the audience builds is wherever it builds.
Yeah.
So Bigfoot build too, huh, Doug?
Oh yeah, baby. We're lettering it.
Are you done with it already?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, you're
a month, dude.
You're starting on your Earthworm. You're on Earthworm Jim 2, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm still on my first comic.
I'm trying to do that's what's bugging me. I'm trying to letter 10 pages a day and then still do 1 page of Earthworm Jim 2 a day. And I'm just so exhausted that either my lettering goes to crap or my Earthworm Jim page goes to crap. So I'm kind of, and I'm procrastinating way more than I usually do. I just not real excited to get into the work area when I'm working that much on 2 different stories. It just sucks.
Yeah. You feel like you have to do that many in order to happen though?
No, I'm just trying to juggle too much. I really should. Well, what happens is when I draw Earthworm Jim live online, that drives backers to buy Bigfoot Bill too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like advertising.
Yeah.
But so then it's harder to turn down, right?
Yeah.
But I shouldn't be doing it right now. But the campaign, has a limited amount of time.
Yeah. I turn it down every stinking day practically. Because I'm like, I can't stress out over this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and it's supposed to be fun. It's okay.
Right. Yeah.
There's going to be stressful days, but how many times, you hit refresh every 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm kind of been.
Look at Anthony's cow poster back there.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot. I totally
awesome,
forgot that I
man.
had that it was the Earthworm Jim one. That's right.
That makes me so happy. That's like a green screen.
That's yeah. I had to put something else back here. It's like I was constantly. It kind of constantly looked like I was in a cult because I'll wear these like white shirts and I'll.
Yeah.
Like right now, you can't see the design on the shirt here, but I was
It
always
looks like you're in an austere asylum.
Yes.
Austerity.
yes, and I just drawing silently, and then so I needed to put something back there. So I remember I had this huge poster, and I haven't had a huge poster in a very long time. One of my favorite posters I had was Army of Darkness poster.
Oh, yeah.
And I had an Evil Dead poster, and then I just don't. When I grew up, I never took care of anything. It just got ripped up and torn up. And
Was
stuff.
that Army of Darkness one the big painted one, the real nice rendering of
Yes.
Ash that's real painterly
Yes.
with like that? Who did that with that rim light on him?
Oh, I don't know.
It looked nuts. It was amazing.
Okay, guys, we got a bunch of questions. You want to answer some questions from the chat?
Sure.
We give you something to talk about. Anyone? No, no one wants to answer.
Dude.
Oh, I said
I'll
sure.
throw 'em out there.
They'll provide conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Let me throw one on screen. So here we go. Currently preparing work for copyright, but I'm not sure if I should yet since it's unfinished. How do you handle copyright? Should I just put it out without? I say put it out. Just write the date on your page if you want. I mainly focus on the copyrights when the books go to print. Really.
That is the correct answer.
Yay!
Correct answer for 20, Alex.
Andy says, what is your writing process and how do you work through creating a story?
Frank Frazetta. No, sorry. I was just looking up the artist for the poster.
It looks
Army of
like a
Darkness.
Frazetta, though.
It does look like a Frazetta. It says Frazetta-like, so never mind. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No.
just
Yeah, that's what I was
scream that out there.
When you first brought it up, I was thinking, I wonder if that's Frazetta.
Yeah, I had to look at it again, and I'm like, oh yeah, it does look like a Frank Frazetta.
Wow. I didn't realize you did that one.
The poster's better than the movie. I mean, I like the movie. I'm just saying the poster's one of the most amazing.
Oh no, yeah, the poster's awesome, but I don't know. Renato Casaro.
Huh.
Oh, that sounds familiar, but sorry, you were answering a question.
No, you are. You're answering the question.
Oh, what's the question?
Who painted the Evil Dead poster?
Yeah, right.
No.
Frazetta.
What's your writing process? How do you work through creating a story? You guys, I can answer too, but go ahead.
Oh, geez.
If you want. If anyone wants to.
My writing process. I finally finished a script after all the from beginning to end, and I'm drawing it right now, and I'm doing all this stuff. How do I go through the process? I don't know. It's just a long.
Just keep working on it. Right?
I wrote it. I write it all the way through to the end, and then I print it out and I read it, and then I edit it as I go along, and then I'll storyboard it, and then I'll still write stuff to it. And then what helped me a lot was actually like Doug, like something that you had said about it was like a beginning, middle, and end, like a boom, boom, boom. So now since you said that like a year ago, and now I see that whenever I'm writing, like whenever I'm reading like a good comic, like Chuck Dixon, I was reading a bunch of stuff, and his pages, man, it was like beginning, middle, end. It's like just boom, boom, boom. Like just there was a beat to it at the end of the page, and there was a good reveal. And it was like I wanted to see if I had, because I started collecting comics like in mid 90s and up until around 2000, I think. And then I had a bunch of Chuck Dixon I didn't even know.
Oh
so
yeah,
the whole Batman.
Everything.
Yeah, the whole Batman Darkfall, the whole Bane thing. I had that. And so I went back and I read it, and I even had something he did. So some of these little spinoffs where it was Batman versus Predator, and he did Batman versus Predator 3, I don't know if he did the first two, and that was like just written so well. And so beginning, middle, and end. So I'm trying to do that. So as I've constructed these pages now, and as I'm writing them, I'm trying to do the beginning, middle, and end. But writing process, I don't know. It took a while to do this. It took a while to kind of make the time for this, and finally get it out. I think it took me about 5-6 months to really get something that I liked.
Yeah.
And as I'm drawing it right now, I'm still coming up with like just extra little panels and stuff that'll be pretty funny. But I don't know. That's not really a good answer to the question.
Well, I'm still figuring out my writing process. Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta mute you guys.
Yeah, because what is it? Jason was talking about how much of a gardener he probably was or something at writing.
Yeah.
And then that was something that I never was really attracted to that. I liked the structure to it.
Yeah.
And then you could sort of maybe add some random stuff to it, because stories that are like, I don't know if everybody ever reads, like, I don't know if you read One Piece. Do you ever read that, Doug? I don't know if you're into manga or not.
I bought it for my sons, like 5 of the 80 volumes. Like
Yeah.
the first 8 volumes of it. And I always ask them, like, what's it about? And,
It's just, they have like this crazy graph about like what Naruto is about, what Bleach is about. Like, Bleach is a circle. It goes all the way, it's just a full circle. Oh. Naruto is like a linear line, just like ends. It doesn't go back like a full circle or something like that. I don't know. It's just a straight line. And then One Piece is a straight line, but it's like it goes off into all of these different branches. It's like a huge tree.
And it comes back to the main line.
Right. And then it goes back to the main line. So it's cool that it's like it sticks to the story and you see it moving forward, but it's like 90 volumes in and there's still, you feel like they haven't gone anywhere. It's like, it's because there's so much backstory and there's so much detail to it. And that drives me nuts. Like manga, that's what, because these characters, these stories, they go on for so long, it drives me nuts. And so so it made me want to have more order in my stories and have more beginning, middle, and ends and just have it done with and go to the next. So
that's the only reason I do the beginning, middle, end thing, is so that in the back of my mind, I know there's a story there, so once I figured that out, you're allowed to screw around all you want.
Right. Yeah.
And you always know what the beginning, middle, end is. So maybe I decided to take that end out of this book and push it, to 3 books down. I still know where I'm going at least.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with a page, right? You have a beginning, middle, end on a page. Maybe you go, there's no way I can fit that end on this page. Well, I'll move it down 3 pages. It's setting up this big gag or this big moment. You're not in trouble. You're okay. But at least it's kind of like you're going somewhere.
Right.
I think that's 2 different kinds of writers, too. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely the kind of writer that needs to know where he's going. I think there are writers who don't care where they're going, and they're having fun in the experience at the moment. So you don't have to structure everything, but you're not going to magically get structure appear in a story.
I find that
I'm writing a flow of life story.
Yeah, I find that happening, like in stories. Like I'll have something written out, and then like there'll be this guy. Like I have this story where this guy he gets this feeling like he overlooks something, or he's acting like it's not there. And so then just out of nowhere, he's sitting in his living room and his wife is asking him, what are you sitting out here for? Why don't you go to bed? And then he's like he's recalling this thought that he had. He's being very vague. He's not trying to tell her exactly what it is. He's want to scare her or something. And then she just sort of like tells him that, basically he doesn't have any balls and he needs to go out there and do something about it or something. Like, I don't know. And then he goes out, he just walks out. And so he starts walking and he doesn't know exactly where he's going, but he has a feeling he has to go here. And then so I just start putting random things out. I thought it would be pretty cool to kind of get a glimpse of the world that he lives in or something. It was a good opportunity to do that. And I wasn't like, so there'll be moments like that. It'll be just like random. I'm like, oh, okay, I can go back to this later. Somebody's going to say, what was that? And then where is he? Like, what is, so that I thought that would, like, there's moments like that where like the structure sort of goes out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's adding to it. Maybe it's just the structure of the world. Maybe I can develop something else later on that can attach.
Well, if you think about real life,
Right.
none of us are reading a script, and you're just kind of surprised by that day's events.
Yeah.
Right.
So it may
Right.
not have structure. Any given life, may not feel like it has a story like beginning, middle, and end. But when I'm doing a story, I'm not trying to make something that's like real life. There's no obligation. It's not a documentary.
Yeah.
It's a commentary on, or more of a commentary on life. But I am interested in doing a story one day that's more like a journal where I just follow it wherever it goes and just screw around. But I think it would be so psycho. Like, I can't imagine people would want to read it. In fact, I would deliberately put stuff in there that no one would want to read just to punish them for reading it.
Yeah. Those are the most like,
I mean, if I was going to do it that way, I'd go like, well, why does one panel have to flow into the other?
right.
Why not just put a random?
What was that movie that it was like Ed Harris and he was in it? It was like it had like a talking cockroach and had all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
Naked Lunch.
Naked Lunch. That's exactly that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, and I love William Burroughs too. I mean, I think he's insane, and I think it's impossible to follow. But when you watch Naked Lunch, you realize you've never seen a movie like it is gone. And I kind of go, because sometimes I feel so bound to structure and character and storytelling that I go, maybe I just want to explore everyone else has a character and they just follow them around and let them fart. And I never.
Right. Let's see, like.
Well, I love that you know Naked Lunch.
Oh yeah, man. It's
Jason, if you haven't seen it, buckle in.
Oh, I've seen it. I saw that when I was.
Oh, you saw that? Okay. Yeah, it's and I wasn't in any film class or something like that, and I'm not boasting because of that. I just mean I was just kind of looking around, like trying to grab all these art housey films, and even the things with like what's his name, David Lynch, the David Lynch films and stuff like that. Just it's either very like he's very in tune with like just conspiracy theories, kind of in depth into the world kind of thing that he just kind of goes off into all these different things, and they could be so genius, or it's no. But most of the time, it's just like there's no story.
Peter Weller is the guy that was in it. That was 1990, I think.
Yeah.
And then by the time we were doing Earthworm Jim in '93, we got a little CD pressed together by a DJ called Spare Ass Annie. That's one of the lines that William Burroughs wrote in Naked Lunch. And so he reads little clips from Naked Lunch. One of the essays is called Spare Ass Annie, and they put it to a backbeat of kind of rave music. So you can get a CD called Spare Ass Annie with William Burroughs reading his work. And we used to spin that thing all the time while we were making Earthworm Jim. It's insane.
What was it was called Spare Ass Annie? Is that what you said?
Yeah. It's about a girl with a hole right in her forehead. Don't try to make sense of it. It's William Burroughs.
Oh, right. Yeah. Don't try. I found it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just spin that sometime.
Okay, I'll do that.
When he was on acid, he hung out with Ginsberg and Jack Kerouac. They called him the Bug Eater. So he was one of the San Francisco Beat Boys. Kerouac came from the Midwest and did, I think it's called The Town in the City or The Town in the Country, the one he wrote before The Road that he got famous for. I think it's called The Town and the City. And so, Kerouac's work is very.
Town in the City.
Is it The Town in the City?
Yeah.
That's one of the best novels I've ever read.
I got to check that out.
Ever.
Yeah, because it's so funny. Like you're talking about Kerouac, and I was just going through his stuff, and then because I was reading the lyrics of Greg Gaffin, the singer of Bad Religion, and because he mentions all this stuff, he's like he grew up with Ginsberg and Kerouac and all these people, and in his song. Anyways, it's just funny that you just mentioned that. I was just like going through that we got into Kerouac.
Well, I first heard about Kerouac from 10,000 Maniacs lyrics, where she opens the song, "Hey Jack Kerouac." You only put the name in there because it rhymed. And I go, "Who's this Kerouac guy?" And I started reading.
Hey Jack Kerouac. 10,000 Maniacs, jeez. Well, yeah. So the writing process, but that's it. Yeah, because that's the things that bounce off, bounce around in my head. Like to think that I've tried to do that, like where I was like, oh, I'll just make up a comic as I go along, and I was doing that for a little bit. It was Fish Camel. I was doing that, and that was just whatever came to mind, and I would just draw it, and I put that up on Webtoons, and I'm at 5 chapters, but I didn't put the 5th chapter. But I don't know. I was like, you just start writing, and structure, I think, is like you were saying, Doug, it's key. And then when you get into the story, it's like, yeah, you can mess around a little bit with certain things, but get back to the story, because nothing's more frustrating sometimes than
you're not going to come up with some giant overarching theme or plot or big statement just by wandering. I just think the structuring, it's kind of like saying, and of course there are rule breakers, of course, but the same way that I would say, if you're going to draw something, you have to put your structure down first. You do a sketch and figure out proportions, which you tell everyone that, and everyone should do it. And there's that Kim Jong-gi guy who just like draws everything perfectly third time out. Never put structure lines in.
Right.
So there are people who are good enough, I guess, to break that rule. I'm not one of them.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say there was just lost my question. Darn it! Forgot what I was going to say. Hate that.
Fell out.
Yeah. It was about the writing. Forgot the question. It'll come back. I don't remember what it was.
Lost your mind.
Hate that.
I'll move on to another question.
Yes.
Where do you go to get fonts for comics? There's Glambot.
Glambot.
And I like making my own fonts at yourfonts.com. It's just like you pay $9 and you can make your own font.
For a bunch of them, or just one?
Just
for
one.
$10.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was the thing.
Do you have personalized keyboard shortcuts in Photoshop, or do you stick with default? I think I stick more with default. There's a couple of shortcuts that I have made in the past. I'll do shortcuts on my Cintiq.
Oh yeah, I remember that I was watching one of your videos about flatting and all that kind of stuff, and I saw you did something with the lasso tool, like when you would click around and then, but you would mess up and the lasso tool would go back like to the original spot that you had clicked on. And I'm like, how does he do that? For so long. I had to keep, like, when I mess up, I'd have to go back and retrace it again.
Mm.
All that is backspace. All it was backspace. That's all it was this whole time. And
E command.
I just like, I couldn't believe it. I just like, anyways. I'm like, how do you do that? Because you would say how to do things, like you would, as you were in the video, you were saying how you were each step as you were going along,
Exactly.
and then you would mess up, but you wouldn't say that you hit backspace.
Some of it I don't know. It's like, it's just kind of, I've done it so much that I don't think about what buttons I'm pushing anymore. I think that's what it is. Because I don't even know what's backspace.
Right.
You just taught me something. No.
Oh, you didn't do that? You didn't do it like that?
No, I mean, I guess that's what I'm doing. I just,
What did you?
I don't know. A lot of it I just do without thinking
Oh, yeah,
anymore.
that's funny.
Yeah. That's why I'm not good at like making the tutorial, the walkthrough videos, because so much of it I have to figure out what did I do? It's Control G or whatever, Oh,
Right.
on the Windows it's something else. So,
Yeah, I remember where I was just learning how to use all this stuff because I hadn't colored on using Photoshop or something, and I would never do digital coloring, and I didn't know that all the different like the multiply, color burn, linear burn, all these things.
Yeah.
Where like multiply was able to, you can color directly on top of the lines. I didn't know that.
yeah.
So I would scan it, and then like some drawing that I would do, and then I would erase all the white.
Yeah.
And so I did that. But that's what I would look up. I would go, how to color digitally, or how to do that. And people would say that that's how they would do it. They would, how to get rid of all the white in the lines and stuff like that.
I do that all the time. When I can't figure something out, I just write in the dumb question exactly as I'm thinking.
Right.
How do I didn't know how to move the text from one page to another page, because I had all the page, my assistant put all the lettering down on the artwork, but it was on a black and white version. And then my colorist gave it back to me. So I just wanted to transfer the text from the one document to the other. How do I transfer the text layer? And then it showed you all the key commands, everything. And I did the whole book. It was easy.
Nice. Yeah. So it was just it was like these simple little things that were like, and then I remember posting a video saying, if you want to color it, just hit multiply. And it was like a 10-second video. And then it got a bunch of dislikes because it was like, what are you, stupid kind of thing? And like, but I did it as a joke. I was doing it because I felt so stupid for doing
Well, I had a friend had to tell me how to do that, because I was always hand coloring in the normal layer.
Right. Yeah.
Taught me that was back on Cat Scratch, like 2006.
Yeah, I would do
always
a
hit
layer
multiply.
underneath.
I went,
Yeah.
why multiply? It doesn't make any sense. He goes, just do it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I would take all the white out and then just grab the lines, and then sort of even redraw the lines sometimes too. I don't know. It was now I understand. Now I get it. Multiply.
Here, this is a good question for Doug. Are there agents for screenwriter to production companies as agents for writer and publishing houses? I would assume so. Yes, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like there's an agent
Sometimes
for
they're the
everything.
same. They can be the same, but
They can.
literary agent versus agent, and then managers. It doesn't matter. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a writer or an artist, it barely matters who your agent or manager is.
Hmm.
Barely. What's far more important is what you choose to make than who reps you, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone assumes that the real key is I'm good enough. I just need an agent. Bad news is I have an agent, and I've had literary agents. And no matter what I made, if it wasn't good enough, they couldn't sell it. And if it was good enough, then people would buy it, even if I didn't have an agent. That's how I got my agent, was because I would bring them work. Like the project was already bought, and I go, you want to be my agent? They go, okay. I'll pay 15% of that.
Yeah.
But when we do question answer, I'd say two of the biggest questions are what we just got. One, when do I get copyright? When do I get my thing copyrighted? And how do I get an agent?
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that I can't stand is how do I keep from getting my ideas stolen? So all those questions are loaded up in a way that I think plays to our own insecurities, which is that this is so good, someone's going to steal it, and so I want to protect it. The agent one is my stuff's good enough, but it just needs someone to represent it for it to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas I think I try and spend all my day obsessed with what am I going to make? Because I suck, and what I make is going to suck. And if it doesn't succeed, it's because I made something that sucked, not because I didn't have an agent, or like you should be so lucky to have someone make something so good that someone tried to steal it. You'd be amazing.
Yeah, that's why it makes so much sense. Like when I found out that, like a long time ago, when I discovered you, Jason, when you were giving it all away for free, basically in the beginning, it made a lot of sense. It's like, and then because like I remember a lot of the time before that, I was spending a lot of time trying to like watermark it, protect it, keep it being downloaded, and all this kind of stuff. There was a lot of worry in that, but I mean, no one even knew who I was.
Yeah.
Well, like, and I was like, what am I? Because I don't know. It's like, where did I learn that? Like, where do people even, like, it comes from like this sort of like this self-esteem thing. It's like, you think you're so great. You think you're, or something like that. Like it comes from that, like growing up thinking that you're so good at it.
It's my impression that the better someone is, the more they think they suck.
Right.
Yeah. The worse they are when it's like your aunt, who's, it's her first week. She went to a painting class and painted a teepee, who think that thing is worth framing and hanging up. Right. I think I'll sell this.
Yeah.
The one thing I hate is the artists that go, never work for free.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big, all I've done is work for free. Like,
see, that's what I was like. That's what I was
doing. I give
away
so much stuff, and I love giving it away.
Yeah, that's what I had to get out of that funk, because that's what you learn. You learn, you're very like, even those schools come off as very anti-business, right? They're anti-capitalist, anti-free market. They're the most like free market capitalist. Like, I mean, it's like, because like all these, like you see all these socialists and all this kind of stuff, like when they try to put them on camera, they're like, am I going to get paid for this? Like I've seen this. Like I've seen like these socialists, these leftists, they get on the camera and they go, they need to get paid for giving their opinion or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's like the self-esteem. That's like, they think they're worth so much or something like that, right? They don't think lowly of themselves at all. All like they're.
Well, it's like a hooker telling another hooker, never have sex for free, even with your husband. I'm just going like, you can do it for love too. You're allowed. You're a commercial artist. You're allowed to just give stuff away too.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do more and more. I'm trying to like just, hey, I'll draw this original character for you. Hey, I'll draw this, just whatever, and then like just give me a follow, whatever. It's just like it's nothing. Just like watch this video. Like, look, you can support me, but but also, I mean, everything's gonna be free. You can support me if you want, but everything's gonna be free. But I did the Five Iron Frenzy album covers for free just because the band, they needed some help. I thought they were cute. I liked the band. Then the band blew up,
And I've
Right.
probably made over $100,000 in book sales and commissions off the 5-Iron Frenzy audience
Yeah.
because I did their album cover work. So if I held out and charged them my normal fee, they wouldn't have bought my cover.
Right.
So
Yeah.
kind of, everything is good marketing.
Yeah. There was like
Not everything has a price, you know.
yeah, it's like that was a good point also about like Jason, you made that in your book about C.S. Lewis. He did all these sermons, or he did all these talks on the radio, and then he just compiled them, and then now it's in a book, and you can get them all. You can go read all this stuff for free. It's all for free somewhere. But people are going to want it in that book.
Right here. Here's the book, Mere Christianity.
They were just talking about it. Right.
In fact, his books, he was so paranoid of not being able to get paid writing. That's why he taught. He only taught at the university to make money and to pay the bills regularly so he could write.
Well,
he was terrified of losing that teaching gig. Not that I recommend that, but I'm just saying. Even he's one of the most famous writers of the last century, and even he didn't.
hey, Jason, you got to share my screen. You got to see what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, where's your? There you go.
Right here. So I'm doing the Kim Gung-gi, like when he would do these things when he's drawing. He would do the square to get the perspective.
Oh, interesting.
Like he says, he was saying, think in perspective, or think in like that 3D way.
Tim never drew it.
What's
He
that?
just taught it.
Yeah, I know exactly. Like that's what, like his process or something. I remember seeing that, like, and that was like, oh yeah, like when I needed this face to be pointed some way, I would draw the box on their head, and I was like, oh, is it correct? Is this going over the shoulder just right? And so
It's just baffling because he'll do the most complicated perspective of characters going off in the distance, and they're covered in tattoos, and they have all this mechanical machinery stuck all to them. Like, I hate you.
Yeah, right.
He must die. Like, that's impossible. And he's not autistic, like he's not like talking like he's a robot. He's just sitting there having a good time.
Yeah, he was like a normal guy who just drew the comic. I mean, just was drawing all the time. That's all he ever did.
But like foreshortened hands, and then he'll draw the body behind it, and then behind that, and then he can put that in the context of an entire world that is also in like a fisheye perspective with like soldiers walking down the street and like a upshot of a flying elephant, and it's all dead on. And even when I snap lines using perspective, I can't get stuff to look right.
Right.
It bugs me. I mean, I'm happy it's out there. When people say, Doug, you've got a gift, I'm like, no, that guy's got a gift. I don't know where that comes from. I know where my stuff comes from.
That's funny.
That guy is crazy.
See, I'll still draw it like realistically, but then I'm gonna come in there and refine it. And where was the other? I had the other.
I know that Kim Jong-gi guy, even if you're going to draw a tiger, why wouldn't you just do like a general outline of the whole tiger, then put in the stripes? He's like putting all the hair in at the shoulder before he goes to the rib cage.
Right, yeah.
Like you're a crazy, you're demon possessed. You're evil.
What was it, Jason? Here's the other panel. I don't know if I finished it yesterday.
Oh, that was great.
Started
Inside the car. That was great.
Yeah, like, and you see like right here, I have it like bending, like right here, and then I'm trying to like do this weird perspective. Makes no sense, like the wheel, the way his hands on the wheel and stuff. But
you have to straighten out that window. That window would not be bent on the background like that.
Right.
Equidistant from the camera, then it does look like a love bug or something.
Yeah, like all.
But the bend in the dash.
You mean straight this out?
Just
right here?
That one horizontal line.
Is that what you're saying?
Back window.
On the back window here?
In the middle, right behind his head. There behind the driver.
Oh, this right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
oh,
bend, it's
like this.
even if it's not equidistant from the camera. Yeah, it would be just a little more. I'm just saying that bend, I looked at that and I think that breaks things a little bit.
Actually, probably like it's like I hate it when it does it like right at the tip of the head there. Let's go behind the head a little bit more. But
hey, Christina, what are you working on, Anthony? What is this project?
Christina Lynn.
Yay!
This is a short story series that I've made a bunch of short stories that are sort of like a more only way I could put it was more of like a Christian Black Mirror in a way.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
So everything has the Black Mirror feel to it, but it will have like a plan. Like you'll feel like there's actually hope in it, even if the character dies. Like one of my favorite stories from Black Mirror was the 50 million credits or something. And at the end of it, he chose to to take the ticket. Like he gave in and and so anyways, but it left you empty. Like it's like he had to die. Like he had to kill himself. He had to do that at the end. But no, it didn't happen. So it's like so things like that where like even if the characters die, there's a sense of like that movie it's a dark victory, right? In a way, in a lot of these sense. And then sometimes it's like, so anyway, so I was trying to take the Black Mirror kind of thing, but not necessarily not be dark. No, I'll be dark, but it'll be more hopeful. Like there is change. Like you can find hope. You can change in these times. You can choose to say, you can say no. You can, so it's like you give them a plan. You give people a plan, basically. And these characters are all going through that. So this is the intro story. So they're going to the town, and we won't find these characters again. We won't see them again. Probably, I don't know if I'll ever see them again. Because then the next story goes into a family that's in the town, and so the town is sort of like, what is that one called? It's the Disney town where it's all
Toontown.
It's all no. It's all created. It's like what is it?
Hymietown.
No, Hymietown. It's
Funky Town.
The town that's like basically constructed. It's Tomorrowland. It's not Tomorrowland. It's the
go to a town.
I forget it. No, but because I haven't like looked at that story.
I don't know, man. Don't ask
Anyways, Disney has a whole town that they created. They created a whole town where you could actually live there. You can actually be a part of Epcot. Geez, it's Epcot Center. So it's like this whole city, this whole town that's like in a valley. It's like Epcot. It's like a whole constructed thing. But that's what you.
It was a little known fact. It was now people don't know this. It was originally designed for epileptic apricots.
Epileptic
apricot. Fact.
I don't know what that means.
Epcot.
So this is the first page here.
I thought it was mean at first too, but Disney, he had a vision. He just had dreams that few of us can touch, and
So this is the first page here.
Cool.
And I was reading a lot of The Promised Neverland. I don't know if you guys ever read that or heard about that manga.
I have not.
No.
Okay, so if you look up The Promised Neverland, look up that artist. She has all I think it's a she, and she has all this crazy perspective. And so I just wanted to start off the story with this one, like it's like you're looking up and then it just sort of pans down and it's all normal in a way, but it's still kind of giving that bend up or something.
That's cool.
There you go. All right. So I gotta go. My wife's telling me I gotta eat lunch.
Leave.
Are you going to
There you
do podcasting? I got to go too. I could go over to their table and draw.
Doug, you gonna be streaming tonight?
I'm going on Nick Ricada tonight.
Oh,
at 11.
Well, I'll be streaming tonight on D Live from 9 to 10 and drawing this comic and whatnot. I'll be on there.
On D Live.
I'll be on D Live. because I've been having trouble with YouTube, so I'm gonna just do DLive tonight. So
Dude, YouTube's where it's at. I hate it, but it's YouTube.
yeah, no, I'll be back. All right.
We'll be back. We all will go down.
We all-
on that toilet.
All right. See you guys around.
See you, brother.
Thanks for coming on, Anthony.
Then that read seasonsthecomicbook.com.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Bye. Later.
See ya.
It's good work.
Yeah.
Why is your keyboard? Is that my keyboard up on the screen? I thought it was yours. I have a keyboard up on my screen. Oh, there it is.
All right. Tell people where to go if you got to go too. Bigfoot Bill too.
Bigfoot Bill. Let's take a look at where we're at, son.
Yeah, show us.
148,100 duties.
Wow. That's awesome.
190, and I could use some more backers. We've got 1,600 backers. We're making a killer book. Book is going to be. We did at 150 grand. We've got gold gilded edges on both books.
Wow.
Is what we're doing.
That's sweet. Yeah, guys, check it out. I vouch for it.
What are you doing these days, man? We need to talk. I need to talk to you about my marketing stuff.
Yes, please. Yeah, I've been kind of offline a lot. Just this whole year has been kind of like business and just shipping and business and planning and Kickstarters, and I haven't hardly drawn at all. That's why now I'm drawing and I'm streaming.
Got to draw. Well, I got to go over to that table and pencil some pages. So, but I got to make a phone call first.
Okay. Well, I'll hang out on here a little bit. If you want to jump off, you can jump back on if you want.
I'll jump off. I'll jump back on. You're going to be drawn.
Yeah.
If I don't hook up with you, which I need to hook up with you, then can you send me the link to the link invite to this show on Twitter in my message?
Sure.
Because I don't always get email at that computer because it's a PC, but I can always get on Twitter and find the link. That's why I send you links on Twitter.
You're the only reason I'm still on Twitter is because that's the only way.
Twitter's an effed up mess, man. The whole world.
Let's see. Let's go to Twitter real quick.
I'm pretty sure 100% of hell will be made up of just Twitter accounts. Everyone on Twitter, everyone else is going to heaven. God's going to go, I'll make this easy. Judgment Day is easy.
That's the qualifier, yeah.
He gets the Twitter manifest, goes, all gone. All done. Holy cow, hell's overflowing. I didn't take into account all the Twitter puppet accounts. There's only ever been 2 Twitter accounts. Everyone else are puppets.
Oh, boy. All right, there. I sent you
All right.
On Twitter.
I'm going to make a phone call. If I don't get back on your show, I got it. When you're done, give me a call. I want to talk about, give you some help with some marketing stuff or
tell
you what we're doing.
Sounds good. I like that.
All right, cool. God bless you.
See ya.
See you, Boo.
All right, guys. I am all yours now. Questions in the comments. Okay. Maybe I'm not all yours because there's a lot of comments and it'll be a really boring stream if I just look at them. Oh boy. All right. I'm trying to get this lighting. It's an early morning lighting. I like the early morning type stuff because it's easy to make it very, very, what's the word for it? Glowy and soft and stuff. No. Okay, guys, if you have new questions, I'm not going to go back through the chat. So if you have new questions, type question in bold, and then I'll see anything new that pops up. I see Christina Lynn says, oh, you're asking Steve. Yes, Steve is working on a book. Christina, you got to check it out. Everybody, check out. Actually, should I show it? No. Hey, Steve, if you're available, you want to come on the show, show your book? Oh, good. You talked to Bob. Good. Bob's a nice guy. He was my art teacher in like junior high. And then we've been friends ever since. Let's see. I need to make. Okay, guys, you're watching as I'm trying to just figure out random stuff now. So this might be a little kind of more boring, maybe. I'm just trying to figure out the mood and the lighting. Just make it feel right. Oh, that's kind of neat. It kind of feels like early morning. I should do some dust motes. Okay, we got some questions. What page are you drawing? I am drawing, let's see, what page is it? Page 24 and 25 of Phobos, chapter 3. There's this whole sequence in book 3 where she's waking up every morning and injecting Frank with his growth serum or whatever it is. And he's smart for about 2 minutes because he convinced her to inject it into his brain. And so it's not what's supposed to happen, but he told her that that's where he needs it injected. And so he's getting smarter and smarter. Well, he's smart, but he's able to get smarter. I don't know. And so he's getting this injection, and when he's getting injected, he can talk clearly and normally. And so she injects him every morning and asks him all these questions really quick to try to figure out what's going on. And then before the serum kind of wears out or travels to the rest of his body. And so that's what this scene is. It's going to basically be a bunch of a conversation, pretty much. The whole page is just a conversation. So I just need to add the word balloons in and stuff. And so each day, it highlights the day with this intro of her asking the next series of questions. Let's see. Are you working digital? Asked Timothy. Yes, I am. It's all Photoshop right now. Let me go back up. Here we go. What's your favorite superhero versus superhero matchup? Oh, Dylan, good question. I don't know. I haven't really read superhero comics in a long time. So I don't really know. It's not something I think about, really. So I'm sorry. I can't answer that because I don't know. Question from Solve4X. I'm using some of your textures in my webtoon, inventing incidents, and we'll be going to print in a few weeks. How do I give you attribution in the credits or for additional textures? Oh man, if you want to give me credits, that would be awesome. I would really appreciate it, but you don't have to. I'm fine with you using them. If you bought them, use them for whatever you want. But yeah, again, I won't turn down a credit, so I would appreciate it if you want to do that. Thanks for asking. Let's see. Timothy asks, do you miss drawing on paper? I still do draw on paper a little bit. So I'll do the thumbnails for this on paper. I've been actually going through cognitive drawing on paper because I'm trying to make 90 videos for every lesson. And I at this point I'm fine going back and forth now. I don't think I miss paper enough to where I long for it anymore. There's benefits to both. Excuse me. I just realized that something's missing on this, and I'm trying to figure out where it went. It's this needle. Oh, there we go. Suddenly it just disappeared. That's better. I'm trying to figure out if I want her face to look like that with the light, the highlight kind of knocking out all the lines or not. I like it, but I'll leave it and come back to it and see if I can figure it out. Figure out if I like it. Let's see. I don't know if this is a question for me. If you go back to Jason old videos, you'll see the process was a lot of back and forth. It was paper sketch. Yes, it was. I really tried to. In fact, my next book that I keep talking about that I'm not telling anyone about, other than talking about that it's going to be a next book. I do want to do it similar to Cithra, where I do the sketches, do the thumbnails on sticky paper, and then scan it, do the sketches in the computer, like sketch it just a little bit more on the Cintiq, and then print it out on paper and ink it. I really like that process. It's time consuming because it's more steps and stuff, but I really do enjoy it because I get to do kind of a little bit of both. I get to figure things out on the Cintiq, and then I get to just do the final line work on paper, which I really like. And then of course I scan it back in and then color it in the computer. This little panel at the bottom needs some love. It's not at all what I was thinking. Oh, I was going to do little dust motes. I got distracted. Let me see if I can get distracted again. I was just going to click something on screen and it disappeared. Oh, here we go. Aaron. How you doing, Aaron? Hopefully your comic's going good. Your short comic. Hello, Jason. I suspect you could stay entirely digital and do it well enough that nobody would ever notice. Yeah. At this point, I think I could probably do digital, and I'd be content with how it looks. I mean, that's kind of what Phobos is, and also Shapes was all digital. I did. So Phobos and Shapes have been all digital. And been enjoying the process as long as I don't stay on the computer too long. I think that's my biggest thing is kind of juggling it a little bit. So I'm not just staring at a screen for 10 hours or 8 hours. That's where it gets a little hard on my eyes and everything. Okay, dust motes. Let's do this. Let's do these dust motes. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Super subtle. There was a really nice. I must have done some Phobos pages in Clip Studio because I remember using one of the brushes to do this. I really liked it. Maybe I was just testing it. I've I've gone back and forth from working on Phobos so many times and started and stopped it that I'm starting to forget where I did what I did certain times when I opened it up. I seem to remember it was the page. Let me just look real quick. Maybe I did start drawing it in Clip Studio. I'm having trouble remembering. Oh, you know what? I think at one point I started doing the lines in Clip Studio, and then I would go back to Photoshop for the coloring. I just can't remember. I've gone back and forth so much with different things, and now I don't remember what I did stuff with. Sheesh. Lame. Some nice textures would go really nicely on this. 1 second. Question. Do you go to any conventions? Which do you recommend? Or many conventions? Let me just keep that on screen. So I don't really do conventions anymore right now. Just because I don't get any return on investment, at least for me. Because unless it's a small convention and it's local, it's just too much money nowadays. Especially because I have so many books. Like for me to bring all of Sithra, I have to bring 6 boxes just of these heavy books, like 40-pound boxes, just to get the whole series on the table. And so it means I got to drive. I can't, either that or I ship it, and it's expensive. Everything's expensive. And then the shows are always trying to be like 3 days long. And so then they charge more, and then you got to pay hotel fees, and the hotel fees raised because there's a big convention going on. I made a video on it. I think it's called Why I Don't Do Comic Conventions or Cons Anymore. So if you want to know my whole opinion on it, why, look at that video. It's on my YouTube channel. I need to find my textures. I haven't pulled them out for a while because I don't generally use them on Phobos. But every now and then I'll need them. Let's see. Here we go. Which one was it? Which one that's kind of streaky, like a streaky texture? Come on, computer. My computer's just like gonna crash. There it is. Open. I like those streaks, but okay, let's let me figure this out first before I talk. That's nice. So subtle. I don't know if it. It's definitely taking it away from what I liked, but there's something there that I kind of like too. Okay. What am I doing? What am I talking about? Oh yeah. Okay, good. No more questions yet. I think this guy needs a little bit more light. It's a dog party outside. Okay, I just need to stop screwing around with this. Okay. I do want to stand out. I see more questions. I do. Christina, have you decided how many Phobos pages will be for your first book campaign? Yes. I think in talking to Doug, he kind of convinced me about. So he tried to say 200 pages, and he had a lot of reasons for going shorter instead of going 500 pages like I was originally planning. But I didn't feel like I could get what I wanted into a 200-page book, and I definitely didn't want to change the pages that I had. So I found out, I realized that at 300 pages I could have a nice ending point for the first volume. So that's about what I'm looking at for the first volume of Phobos. It's 300 pages. This is, and each chapter is about 100 pages, about. So this is part of the third chapter. And so I have, another, I think I told someone I had 80 pages left to go yesterday, and then I thought about it, and I think I have a little bit more than that. But I'm trying to do a spread every day of the week. And so I think I'll be in a pretty good spot when the cognitive drawing campaign closes. That's my goal, is just to kind of get the cognitive drawing video lessons done and work on Phobos every day while that campaign is live, so that when it's over, I have some options. I can reassess the situation and see exactly what how I want to go forward with the plan for launching Phobos. So, but I'd love to get it pretty much wrapped up, at least drawn, all the pages drawn at least by the time the campaign is done. I don't know how likely that will be, but it just depends on how focused I can stay. Sometimes, you can get on a roll and make it happen for a week, and then another week happens and it's just not happening. And I got to focus on, I still got to do my taxes. Now that we got the tax extension, I've just been like, whatever, I'll get to it later. So stuff like that will creep up on me, and I'll be like, no, I got to focus on that for a week or, a couple days or something. You know what? I'm sure I started doing some of these pages in Clip Studio, probably on book 2. I just need to switch over. Now I need to work on this little bottom panel. Getting close. Don't read the text, guys, because it's not proofread yet. Question, do you ever get stuck on a page or a panel? I've been trying to make a scrolling comic, and progress has been slow in trying to color all the panels. Yeah, I do get stuck, and sometimes it's just a matter of saying, oh, okay, this is good enough, you know. Like I could keep noodling this stuff and questioning her face and refining it and cleaning it up better, you know, but it's just after a certain point, it's kind of you're trying to get the last, what's that? It's like the Parkinson's law. Like at a certain point, you're going to spend 80% more time and you're only going to get 20% results, you know? And so I'm trying to make, especially with Phobos, this comic, something where I get the most out of my time. And there's certain things that I can sketch that I really love how it looks. And then when I clean it up, it's like, yeah, it's okay. It's a little better. The anatomy's better, or those lines are crisper or cleaner, but it didn't really help it. It kind of actually lost some of the energy, you know? And so I'm trying to like avoid getting hung up on that, you know? Like there's a lot of really loose lines in here. And it's just a conscious decision to like not try to noodle it to death, you know? And that's really hard to do, I think, sometimes, not noodle things to death. I don't know how I'm going to make this word balloon work. Because it's his word balloon, but it's on the other side of her head. Oops. And these word balloons are all temporary. All the text is temporary. Because I'm going to try to really art direct the text really beautifully. Beautifully. Does it work having two word balloons pointing at her? You guys don't judge me if there's horribly spelled words here. I can spell like a fourth grader. That's not my strength, okay? Need help? Sorry, guys, I'm ignoring you. Did I answer your question? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Agizo? What? Yeah, I get stuck on a panel. Yeah, I think I answered your question. Jillian says, tips on running a successful Kickstarter campaign. Oh, it's a Pandora's box right there. There's so many answers to that question. I think for me, what I try to do now is just get as much of the project done before I launch the campaign as possible. There will come a day when I'll probably try to pitch a project, if I'm confident enough, pitch a project on Kickstarter and try to raise the funds to produce the whole project, meaning it would have to give me like 30,000 for production, for a year's worth of production costs, and then another 15 or 20,000 for printing costs. So I would have to have like a $50,000 campaign, and I'm not confident enough to do that yet, where I just have an idea that I pitched to everybody. But people have done that, and it's impressive. So it can be done. It's just, I don't know if my audience is there yet, or if I'm ready for that either. So anyway, to relieve that kind of burden, finish up as much as you can, at least like 80% or something. That's what I've said before in the past. And I think that still kind of holds pretty true. And then the other thing, which is hard to do, is build your audience before you get to Kickstarter. Look at that. Look at that nice little word balloon getting hugged by the other word balloon. So cute. Let's do that again here. Oh, whoops. Whoops, what am I doing? It works, kind of interesting. How to do this. These words are so jammed together. I almost need to kind of slightly colorize them a little bit. I like doing that. That's kind of fun. Have you ever seen that before in comics? Hey kids, look at this new way of making word balloons. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's just wall of word balloon blobby text. What happened? What happened? Oh. Oh. What am I doing? What's going on? There it is. Okay, I need to work on that last panel. I better save this. Save. Okay. The Art of Bree Mary asks, what kind of advice would you give to an animator looking to start their first webcomic? Ooh. I'd say trust your animation instincts. Lean towards your interests, lean towards your abilities as an animator, and break all those rules of that you see in webcomics, things that you have learned in animation. Try to just do something different, stand out, walk the opposite direction of the crowd. And the reason I say all this is because saying you're an animator coming from the animation world, you already have a whole bag of tricks that are different than people walking into just webcomics without an animation experience. So play to those strengths, I think, would be my biggest piece of advice. And then just have fun with it. It's don't treat it like a job until it starts paying you like a job, I guess. I know that's counterintuitive advice that a lot of people would be against, but if you're not having fun with it, then you shouldn't be working on it. That's what I think. Uncle Heel says, how long did it take you to become a professional artist? Oh, well, I'm still not very professional. I drew all my life, all as long as I could remember. I drew. I really started taking it seriously when I was, even junior high and stuff like that. Tried to do my own comic strips. Started making comic books in junior high and high school. Made my own books. Did a lot of submissions. Really, really worked it as hard as I possibly could. And then at 20, I started getting some like little jobs. And then at 21 is when I moved to LA and got represented. I got offered representation at a storyboarding agency. And then that's when I considered myself professional, even though I was just, figuring it out as I went. But I had learned how to, I learned how to draw. So there was something in my art, even though maybe everything wasn't perfect. There was something there that attracted people enough to get it represented by an agent, Let's see. Let me focus on this panel real quick. So my sketch had it. Give me 1 second. Get rid of that. Okay, so there's my panel. Spelling things wrong. So in my sketch, in my thumbnail, I had it kind of like this. And I figure I could just add those lines. textures are kind of shining through. Where are they? Right there. That is not what I was thinking for this. Okay, I think I know what I'm trying to figure out. I need to just put some little glows around the edge. Because it's kind of like it's supposed to be like he's backlit, you know? It's not fitting with the other panel. What's going on? It's like, sorry guys, I'm ignoring you. I'm in the zone. Keep redoing things. Stop it. Oh my goodness. My brush got huge. Messed up that bottom line a little bit. Okay, that might be a little too much. So I don't know. I don't know if that's working. It's very close. It's close to what I'm thinking, but something about it is a little too abstract or something. Maybe that's just it, just cleaning it up a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. Bing. Well, maybe I should darken that up again. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm good with that. Yeah, does that work? Does that look good? Oh, I left this question on the screen. Oh, hey, Nolan. Hope you haven't been hanging out forever.
No, I just got here.
Okay, good. Well, let's see. Let me go find the next question. But you can go ahead and talk. You don't have to not talk because I'm looking for a question.
Oh, I was just planning on hanging out here for the next hour and a half, just sitting here. Yeah.
Okay.
Taking
That's
up your
fine.
valuable
I'm
time.
gonna log off. So.
Well, I saw your email and I was like, that was I was a couple hours ago, and I just looked up and I was like, oh, you're still on.
Yeah, I need to go to lunch actually because I haven't eaten yet. But
Well, okay.
I'd love to hang out with you for a little bit. And I just finished this page, so at least I think I'm finished.
That's what you think, right?
Okay, let me ask you. Do you think it's better? You think her face looks better with the lines more clear, or the lines kind of glowing, so it kind of is blown out? I'm trying to figure that out. I kind of like it blown out.
I do too. I think if there's always a chance to do some abstraction, and I think you should go for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'll keep it.
What about totally lineless? No, I'm kidding.
Totally lineless.
So how you been?
Oh man, it's been good. I launched the campaign and I've been stressing out over it, even though it's going fine. And so I'm like, well, I got to just get online and work on Phobos, so I'm not thinking about it, So it's been good. This has been kind of like taking my mind off things type streams the last couple of days. I'm gonna try to keep it up all month.
Have you been doing private streams then through your Patreon?
Not really. I do the Patreon video calls once a month.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm trying to just jump back online and start doing art online again, streaming art, because I haven't done it for so long. I've been focusing on shipping Cithra and getting cognitive drawing ready and preparing the Kickstarters, and then just all kinds of stuff ever since the beginning of the year. So I haven't really done a whole lot of art from my books, and so I just really want to get back into it. And plus, I keep abandoning Phobos to work on other things, and so I really want to get it done so I can launch the Kickstarter for it, in the next 6 months or so. And yeah, so it's been busy. It's been an interesting time.
So have you been sticking to your own advice in your old book, or you've been like,
oh, what's my advice?
Is it like resetting it all the time? with your unnatural talent. Yeah,
Yeah.
talent.
Which bit of advice are you?
Oh, I'm just saying like the whole book. I know you were
The whole book.
you were up to some
There's
things.
a lot that's changed. There's a lot that's changed since then, especially because the internet, everything in the internet has changed. You
Yeah.
know?
No, I was flipping through it the other I think a couple of weeks ago because I was thinking like, well, what if I wanted to do one, but then it's like I know so much has changed from that, and it's like, well, maybe I could throw this thing out. I think this doesn't work anymore. Maybe this works.
Yeah.
I don't really remember yet about it, but
Yeah, I was kind of planning on going through the whole book and making videos updating it. You know?
yeah, I saw that. I saw some of those.
So that started, and then yeah, things just kind of got a little bit hairier with finances, and so I was like, I can't be just doing this for free. You know, I mean, I can do it for free. It's just I don't have time to do it right now. I need to focus on the things that are gonna make the money. You know, so but I still want to continue that series because there's a lot that's changed. I think the main things that I would say are different now is like the whole the stuff I addressed in my web comics have changed videos.
Yeah.
Where, you know, there was an old method of getting traffic and stuff, and it had to do with blogging and making your web comic and, you know, update schedules and all that stuff. And it's so different now. You can't buy advertising on Project Wonderful. It doesn't exist anymore. You know. Oh, it's Doug again. Hey, Doug. Sorry.
It's cool.
I just keep ignoring people.
I'm just sitting here drawing. You're allowed to ignore me. Maybe I'm ignoring you.
So we were talking about what's changed since I've released Unnatural Talent and stuff. And so, yeah, there's just a lot of things that I think that would change. But the core fundamentals of that book, I think, are like the way to approach art, I think, is still pretty similar. You know, the technology has changed, but the way to approach it is still the same, I think.
Yeah.
So
I won't be able to meet you, Mr. Doug, in person
Why is that?
because
Because if Comic-Con got whacked?
yeah, they canned it
Where do you live?
up in Seattle.
I was going to say, because our family takes a summer vacation in Comic-Con the last 2 years of 2 weeks of July anyways, and we're going to maintain that vacation.
Oh.
So we're going to go to San Diego, and it's going to be a ghost town, and it's going to be great. But I'm only saying, I'm inviting anyone who's in town who wants to get together. If you're going to be in town in San Diego anyways, we'll definitely get together and have drinks and cigars. So I'm proposing a mini con. It's going to be Doug Con.
what week is that,
Con
Doug?
of one. No, I'll have a ton of fans. We'll all get together, dude, in San Diego.
Because I think we're going to be in a timeshare right out of San Diego at that same time.
Okay, then come on.
What week is it though?
It's the last 2 weeks of July is when we go to. We're in Del Mar every year for 30 years. Last 2 weeks of July.
Let me just write it down and
Write it down.
think we'll be there.
Dude, we will get a ton of guys together, fans and everybody, because the coronavirus is completely fake. All the shutdown garbage,
Yeah.
completely fake.
You're
You're not part of the scene.
Yeah. We're all gonna, dude, we're gonna get together. We'll have cigars. We'll talk books. It'll be the most intimate fan creator time ever.
So
It's worth
will that be at a restaurant? Are we doing takeout at the restaurant then?
No, I'm buying everybody's meal and drinks, and I'm gonna be French kissing all your glasses. I'll lick the rim of the glass and apply the salt to it. We will shake hands. There'll be no fist bumping. We're not the Obamas. That guy's an alien from Hawaii. We shake hands. We embrace each other like human beings. Look, you guys have all gone to the grocery store, right?
Yeah.
I went to a grocery store. How is it that we're living? How is it that we're living
No.
when we went to the grocery store?
That's where the carriers of all the diseases.
That's where
are right there.
all the carriers are. They shove every single person through one line with a virus which is fake, which allegedly lives on surfaces for like 18,000 years. They actually, in coronavirus, they invented 0 point energy. It creates its own life. It perpetually lives forever on surfaces. And they run everyone through a supermarket where everyone's handling food and money and the cash register. And no one's gotten sick. No one, not one. Zero.
My stream's
It's
going
fake.
to fully be shut down now, huh, Doug?
I'm back.
Yeah, anyone here know someone who's died of corona? There's 3 old people. It's
Well,
probably
that's what you
because
keep hearing about. You keep hearing about the number of people dying. That's what you always keep hearing about.
yeah,
I don't know anyone who has the coronavirus.
no one has it. Well, it's because the guess is that most of us have already had it. It's already gone through most of our system.
Right. I don't think it doesn't not like something doesn't exist. I think I had it and now
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
and
I'm
then
sure.
it's like it was gone.
Yeah.
It's
And you're safe. And then they stole 1/3 of our economy, redistributed wealth, destroyed the comics industry and Comic-Con over fake virus. Like they destroyed 1/3 of the market. Like small businesses are dead.
Yeah, that's what sucks about it.
I actually knew one kid who got the coronavirus.
Yeah.
He's actually was 19, and I think he's based in California. But
Was he intubated?
He got sent to the ICU.
And what happened? He lived.
Well, I mean, yeah, he lived. I mean,
Yeah.
well,
but
what do you know?
the owners, we have a restaurant here in Seattle that was it was owned by, the guy who plays the bad guy in Karate Kid 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I believe his in-laws passed away from the virus.
Yeah, I know, but that's not, dude, I'm just talking about real people.
I know it's like this is the one that's like the celebrities are all getting. It's yeah. The celebrities are all getting it, they're promoting it.
I'm saying, like, why is my church not even meeting? As if like everyone's like, they made everyone terrified. Like you're going to touch each other and die. It's not true.
Yeah, I was on
Understand? Are you going to believe your eyes or are you going to believe media, which never lies, has never lied? They would never shut down a market to win an election. Never.
why would they do that? Why would they do that?
They would never do
Media
that. They
is-
only tell the truth.
Media is very honest.
They're like, how in the world can we beat this orange-haired freak? He's got the 3% unemployment of blacks. They're like, we have to do something. They were either going to assassinate him or spread the corona conspiracy. And they go, well, the corona one, we probably won't get in trouble, as much trouble as if we tried to assassinate him. So we'll roll this one out. It's
They
fake.
didn't exactly pick a strong candidate, though.
True. I know, right?
If this is a master plan, you think they would have something a little bit better.
They could have rolled out Tom Hanks. They could have rolled out Michelle Obama, our first trans president. They could have rolled anyone out,
Go
and they
for it.
they go for Biden. Like, dude, that's your agent. Tom Hanks could have run and cleaned everyone's clock.
Well, I just wonder what the plan. I'm very curious to know what the plan is right now. Like that, to see that they wanted Biden up there. Like they chose Biden. They got him up there. Okay, so what's in store? What crazy thing is going to happen, or what's going to come out of nowhere? Like what's going on?
I don't know.
It's all planned.
They probably can't get the guy they want, so they'll have them be the vice, and they'll kill off Biden. Like they'll have Tom Hanks be the vice.
What I don't get about Biden is I thought old white men were the most evil thing in the world. And so
Apparently, there's the most dumb thing in the world.
why are they putting him in front now?
You thought you thought that was like those words had meaning. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I thought that white people like these old white men, that they didn't get it. Like you thought. See, that's the thing is like there is no meaning behind it. They don't believe in meaning.
Well, they had me on
Say
board
whatever
with
they
the
want.
white people are evil because I know that like how many people play Super Smash Brothers and Animal Crossing. So they're right about the white people being evil part. I would bet there's more white people playing Animal Crossing and Super Smash Brothers than there are minorities playing it. So they've got a point on that one.
So speaking of minorities, so Jason, when I was talking about the drawings for my work and how I had to make it look bad because like I was making things look too good, so I have to make them look bad. So
So it looked like it had style.
So here's I'm working on the iPad, so I got to turn this thing around right now. So I'll show you what I have here. Hold on a second. So
paper.
So you see this right here? So that's what they want. That's what they want, right? So what I did.
Hold on, let me get you bigger.
Yeah, get that bigger. I want to
Okay.
see. That's a good pose. That's a good running pose. That's good.
Right.
There you
So
go.
I did that, right? And so
Yeah.
then, but my first one was this. Okay, this is my first one.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
darn
yeah.
it.
Too good.
Hold on a second. And then I did this.
Yeah. Yeah, bug-eyed with the with gray. Look at her muscles. And it was her
So-
5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
So that's
So
why
like
she's beating. That's why she's beating all the girls because I don't know. I'm not making a comment about her enzymes, about her DNA. But I'm just saying.
Oh boy.
So you see what I'm saying? Like that was the first one I did, and I thought like I was sticking to the style.
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry, Anthony.
I have to go. No, completely. I had to go to this one. I had to stick to this. Just stick to that. That's what I have to do.
That's a good running pose, though. It's good.
Yeah, it's like I stick to my old pose. At least I can stick to the poses that I chose, you know.
It's an animator's pose.
But it's just that's how, like they told me, they go, oh, this is like a whole other world, Anthony. You have to stick to this style over here. So, anyways, so thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we were talking about when I was saying minorities, I meant the trans athletes. That's why I want to show you that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I have Apache.
Nolan's
Indian.
also known as
Apache Indian
patient. Nolan's also known as patient zero.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Come, oh man, I love mean-spirited coronavirus racist humor.
Yeah. No, it's pretty interesting. Like with all that, what I think is really interesting is like the lack of scrutiny with China.
Yeah,
'Cause, like my family's been in the States for a while, so it's kind of like we don't like. There's none of that like nationalist like
yeah,
Asian pride, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the heritage that I had, but I think where my family comes from, because it's such a huge country, it's like it's like it's like Maine compared to California, right?
yeah,
And I think my family kind of grew up closer to like Hong Kong, which Hong Kong is a totally different culture.
yeah. Way more free, business oriented. They were protesting the government, right?
Yeah, and I've been in both like Shanghai and Hong Kong. Shanghai very briefly, but it's definitely a different vibe in terms of the people.
Yeah.
I think. Just my brief encounter. But what's weird about all this media stuff is like no one's like I even go on to the New York Times sometimes and I see they're talking about the statistics and they're still using the statistics that like China gives them. And I'm thinking no one's checking this. No one is buying like no one's, they're just taking it at face value. And what's also been happening with like the WHO and it's just weird. Like,
that was what made me first think the whole thing was something's going on because the numbers never match. Obviously, China underreported deaths and outbreak, But what was weird was, why was California's outbreak so much smaller than New York's? It just didn't make sense. There were population dense areas that just didn't match what happened in New York. And so that's where I got the idea that the only explanation is that this virus has to have been around longer than we think it has. LA, which runs, it had like 34 flights a month to and from Wuhan, LA does, that would be enough to circulate the virus among the California population before New York. And so it's the herd immunity. It's our natural antibodies, where only a small percent of us need it, by the way, to help fight off the outbreak. It just because the disparity in numbers are weird. And now they're coming out. Now the reason why it got even faker, which actually proved my insane joke about it being fake true, is that they just they started testing people's immunity systems to see who might have already had it. And it was like 85. They are guesstimating now that up to 85% of the public population has already been exposed to it, meaning your immunities are already working on it. Mm-hmm. And that would explain the disparity from town to town and even country to country to varying levels of. Basically, when 10 times more people have it than they thought they did, that means it's 10 times less deadly than they thought it was, because the actual number of people who've been exposed to it is so high, and the death rate is way below 0.10. Making it way less dangerous than a normal flu, no matter how contagious it is. Science from an art major. Who'd have guessed?
Do you think some of it, though, is like reacting to false information in the beginning, where they're saying, "Oh, you can't," it's not being transmitted from person to person. But then it's like, whoa, now it can be, and then everybody, especially like in New York,
the people that did die or get sick, we could have done better with them if we had known the truth, if China was leveled with us a little earlier on.
Yeah. Jason, do you think this is a good time to go for lunch now? I jumped on right when he was about to leave for lunch, and then
I'm just looking at.
We're going to start talking about politics for the next 2 hours.
No politics. I hate that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Then I heard.
I was joking.
Kissing glasses, and so I had to hop on.
For everyone who's offended, I didn't mean anything I said. I was lying. I believe the exact opposite of everything I was just kidding about.
Oh, you're just
I don't insult anyone on this show.
I'd like to apologize on behalf of this channel. The views and opinions of this channel do not match mine. I just apologize to every community I just offended to the bottom of my heart. I have a lot of friends who have died of coronavirus, and I don't want to offend them. I'm really sorry.
Oh, goodness.
Doug, you have to type that out on Notepad on your phone and then take a screen grab and post it on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I already have it tattooed.
Typical format.
Just say you're sorry.
Yeah.
For drinking bottled water.
I'd like to apologize to all of the bats and wet markets that I've made fun of. I'm really sorry. But you are delicious.
Would you rather eat a pangolin or a bat first?
Oh, I'd eat a penguin any day. That's at least a bird.
No, pangolin.
Pangolin, those armored armadillo things.
Yeah.
I'd do a pangolin probably. I mean, it'd probably taste worse, but a bat, I mean, those things are, first of all, they're ugly. No one wants to eat something that ugly. Those hognose things, they look like they have like non-Euclidean math made their face, or they look like a Georgia O'Keeffe painting. Their face just looks like an orchid. It's all blown up and covered in hair, those hog-nosed bats. So I'd rather eat a pangolin just purely for design purposes. For design, I favor their design.
Yeah, you think it's gonna taste like a what do they call it? Artichoke or something like that.
That is true. Squid's delicious, and it really looks like it shouldn't be.
Have you ever had cuy in Peru? It's like the guinea pig.
No,
it's like a roast guinea pig. I went to try that one time, and I mean, a guinea pig's pretty fat and chubby, so there's a lot of
Is there, but do they have meat? Are they meaty?
they're pretty bony. I mean, it's like eating a rabbit, I guess. I never had rabbit, but I would imagine like similar families.
Yeah.
But there seems to be more fat on a guinea pig. But
They look like those small rats, right? That are all loose in Florida swamps. Those big giant. What are those rat-looking things? They look like a giant guinea pig.
I don't know if they're that big. I mean, the thing came out on a plate like that big, and it reminded me of like eating duck. Just the amount of bones and how lean it was. But
Yeah.
Oh.
Duck has a gaminess.
I would imagine fat would taste like that, but probably worse.
Yeah.
You're gonna grab some.
All right. Well, I think we covered everything.
Right.
Well, I got to run for lunch though, guys. So
Don't wash your hands. Go back to work, everybody.
That's right.
Throw that mask off. We're not wearing these burqa masks anymore. It's
Where's your
degrading.
mask, Jason?
I'm gonna.
Do you have it on you?
Forgot it. It was somewhere over there.
Does it have like the coffee
Look at that.
Table
There you
Comics
go.
logo there?
Nolan's getting into costume.
Coffee Table Comics logo.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
my name.
I wanted to make masks, but print on them, like do a silk screen that looks like blotches of blood that you coughed up. Like walk around and go.
Yeah, like I was walking down the road, people were already. So I was already avoiding them, or I didn't want to,
Yeah.
be near them. People were already avoiding me, or something like that. And this is just like what quarantine going around.
All right, guys. I gotta
All right.
run, but I want to say, go support Doug Bigfoot Bill and
Bigfoot Bill.
upcoming.
I think this.
Gym,
Yeah.
right?
I think this stream I probably earned me about 20 refunds.
Yeah. So if you're refunding Doug, head on over to Cognitive Drawing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
My
Get in
80-year-old
there.
grandma.
Are you doing that on? Is that on Kickstarter or Indiegogo?
Is Kickstarter.
how do
I'll
you-
probably put it on Indiegogo for the in-demand side of it.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, Kickstarter. So if anyone wants to learn to draw, head on over to Kickstarter, type in Cognitive Drawing.
I got to have you on my show to cover that book, dude.
Yeah,
We got to get on it.
that'd be great. Yeah. And let me know what you need, Doug, too. I can try to help out with your campaigns. I know we
We'll
haven't
figure
done
something.
a whole lot recently, so
Yeah, we gotta have a brain talk. I got some stuff for you.
okay.
We'll-
Today? You want to talk today?
Yeah, give me a call. Maybe on your way to lunch or something, right? On your way back.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Hey,
Nolan,
God bless you guys. Nolan, great hanging with you guys. See you, Anthony.
yeah,
So, yeah.
thanks for
Like
joining
that
us.
post,
Hey,
man.
Anthony.
It warms my heart.
Glad you like it.
God bless you guys.